All right, back for a second study ball. I know I was busy this week, so I kind of had to stack a couple of these together. If you haven't seen it yet, I broke down Deshaun Watson, some of the questions I have about him after week number 1, and I'm going to look at another veteran quarterback, right, and give the benefit of the doubt to some of these young guys. First start, first time out, still learning how to play the position. But these veteran guys, you expect them to play better. You expect them to be more comfortable in their offenses. And I didn't see that with Deshaun Watson, and I didn't see that with Kirk Cousins. And so one thing we always have to remember, when you move from one team to another, it's not easy to get comfortable with the new offense. Just because you're a good quarterback doesn't mean the new system fits you, that you're comfortable with what you're seeing and what your reads are and the timing of things. And so we asked the question with Kirk Cousins today is, was this him being uncomfortable with what they're asking him to do? Uncomfortable with how they're teaching the system, not familiar to him based on what he's done in the past? Or is this something physically with Kirk Cousins where he's not really ready to do what he's done in the past, that he's uncomfortable physically, and it led to some of the issues that they had in the game? So we're going to take a look at a number of plays, and there's issues all over. And I don't know what the answer is, and that's why I'm doing the study ball on it, because I got questions. I got questions after week 1. These are my questions, and this is something I'm going to be watching for as the season progresses to see if we get answers to these questions. All right, so here we go with Kirk. All right, so again, comfortability. This is a play that we've talked about here on Twitter recently. Influence post, big in, hook. All right? There's nothing really that takes us to this influence post unless we get safeties to split the middle and we got a shot down the middle, where usually we get man-to-man coverage where we open up the backside of the defense and that guy can run away from his guy. So normally this is more of a clear-out guy with the possibility of getting the football against a couple different looks. Okay? Neither of those looks happen here. We're just getting a cover 3 zone. He's going back to the middle, so we're not going to take that guy down the middle. These guys are dropping down underneath, so we're not really thinking throwing this to him over the top. Yet, Kirk's throwing it to him. Like, what did he see here that's making him consider that throw? Because what we have is we've got a perfect high-low over here with the hook and the in off of the hook defender, right? So that hook defender gets depth. There's an easy throw right there. Like, it's right in front of you. He's already collisioning the guy we're throwing it to, but that's the read right there off of that guy. Just take it. Come back and take it. Throw that he's made 1,000,000 times. Now, we're going to talk about this more because we see this play numerous times. And what we talk about is we like this throw being in between the hash and the numbers. So I would really like this hook to not be on the hash, because when the hook is on the hash, it allows one defender to be in the way of both of these guys. What we want to do with defense is we want to force them to cover width and depth. So take this guy right here, okay? We want to force him to cover depth, meaning you got to drop deep to cover the in, okay? But we also want to force him to cover width. Running straight at him doesn't do that. Running our hook out here a yard or two from the numbers now forces him, if you want to cover that in your zone, you have got to move with width. So when I get him to move with width, what did I do? I opened up the window for the in. So we're forcing him to cover width and depth. Hard to do. When we only force a guy to cover one of the two, right? So here, all I'm doing is forcing this guy to cover depth because we're stacked right on top of each other. Now, we can still get a high-low forcing him to cover depth, but the thing is he's in a position to really cover both of them. He holds off the in route, and because we're right here on the hook, he also can drive and tackle the hook if we're throwing that. I'm going to show you another look at that in a little while. But play number 1, I asked myself already, Kirk, what are you doing? Why are you throwing it in there? That's not a read that I've seen you make in the past. Why are you doing it right now? Are you uncomfortable? Right? Are things moving too fast? Are you not quite comfortable with how they're doing things offensively? I don't know, but there were some of those issues in the game. Okay, so here we're going to motion to a 4-strong play. 1, 2, 3, 4. When we do this, what we're looking at is, do we get a one-on-one back here to this side? Okay, so you have to ask yourself, did this guy move far enough to give me a one-on-one shot to the backside? Okay, so here, Kirk decides to go to the backside. Okay, now the first thing you notice is Kirk is set to throw it out there, and Drake London is going inside. Why? What's going on? Who's wrong? What's the problem here? Something is off here because Kirk is set up a different place than Drake London is. And you'll even see after he throws this ball away, he lifts up his hand and kind of points to the outside like he should be going outside. Okay, that's the case. And okay, that could happen. Somebody made a mistake, the receiver made a mistake, and now we're all over Kirk Cousins because he doesn't look so good. But the only thing I would say is, okay, right here, you realize it. Right here, your guy goes inside the corner. Okay, it's the only guy you got over there. Do you have the ability to salvage this? You have the ability to still go, okay, he's dead over there. Can I bounce back and maybe worst case scenario, throw the swing? Or here, they're going to run a return and a swing. So I may have to miss what's going on down the field because I'm late getting there. But can I turn and salvage this and maybe make a throw to one of those other guys? Okay, so I get back there and I turn. Worst case scenario, I get one-on-one with Bijan, or maybe Kyle Pitts coming here on the return. Maybe I got a shot at it. But, I mean, that's just kind of an advancement. I don't have it right here. I see the release. It's not good. Can I get back to the backside? Or, okay, I don't like it. We screwed it up. Live for another down in the red zone. Just throw this ball away. I can live with that too. But it just kind of speaks to some of the issues that Atlanta was having offensively. And some of the issues it seems like Kirk had in terms of feeling comfortable with what they're doing. Okay? So here's another one. All right? So we're going to start a little motion right here. And we snapped this too soon, I believe. Okay? So they're going to run a hook right here. And I'm assuming they want Bijan Robinson to motion out here and run the flat. Okay? And I'm going to show you why I think that in a minute. But we snap it too soon. Okay? So we do that. Go. Snap. Okay, was this the center snapping it too soon? Was this Kirk not giving him time? What was it? Okay, but what happens is Kirk's looking over here to the right, and what do we have? We've got a hook that's covered by two guys. We got Bijan turning around looking at his quarterback going, what are we doing? You didn't give me enough time to motion. Now he's stuck underneath this, right? He's stuck underneath this. We screwed up this whole play right here, and now Kirk tries to salvage it because it's messed up. I'll always say this, quarterbacks, don't make a bad play worse. Play is screwed up. It's messed up. Okay? You can try to make a play with it, but don't force something that you can't see. So he gets back quickly because it's all messed up, can't really verify what's going on the backside, and ends up throwing it in right to a safety. Throwing an interception here. Boom. Yep, stinks for a quarterback, right? We're going to beat up Kirk Cousins, and I get it. Forces a throw, didn't really verify it, threw it anyways, but envision what you're going to do when you got your ball in your hands and all of a sudden these guys are doing this. Now, this could be on Kirk because he didn't allow his guy to get all the way out there. It could be on the center. He snapped it too soon. I don't know who is on, but it's a messed up play once again. So here we are, week one, and we're messing up all kinds of stuff, and it leads to bad decisions by your quarterbacks and turnovers and losses. Okay, so this is why I think it was that play, because when you come back and look at it, it's the same thing. We got a hook, we got a flat, we got a cross, we got an in, and we got a check. So it's basically the same play, just out of a different personnel. Okay, so we come out here and we actually get it right from that perspective here. But what do we read on stick flat? Okay, anybody that's out there, what do we read? We read the flat defender. Okay, so with the motion, they're going to run back and the safety is going to come running down. Boom, there comes the safety, screaming down, right there back behind it to the hook. See the guy screaming down, throw it back behind to the hook. Again, another throw that Kirk has made numerous times, yet here he is, forcing it into the flat with the guy beating him up as soon as the ball got there. Uncomfortable, forcing things, playing fast. All kinds of things going on within this offense early in this game already. And it's week number 1, right? They don't look like the contender that a lot of people thought they would. And a lot of it is just because of everybody making mistakes at different times. Okay, here's another one. This is just a curl flat to the top. Corner off, we got exactly what we want. Read the outside linebacker and make a throw. He's looking to the right-hand side. There it is. There's a read. Read the outside linebacker. He gets wide. Hit your curl. Hit your curl. There's the throw right there. There it is. It's open. That's as open as it gets right there. Put it on him right now. As you see, Kirk is looking over there. He's there. He's set. Everything's there. Not throwing it. Why aren't you throwing it? Are you uncomfortable with what they're doing? Is the timing a little bit off? Are you expecting something different? Now does a nice job of coming back and getting a guy go up to make a play, right? Dangerous throw late, kind of like the other one, but we get this one and we make a play here, but there's the layup right in front of you. There's the layup, the curl right there. It's open. Throw it. Get a completion. Making the game too hard. All right. So we're going to run a play here I call wheel. So it's a little post right here. Then we're going to run this guy to the flat, and we're going to wheel him up the field. Okay? So when we read this play, or when I read this play, always going to look at this post first. Okay? Always want to look at that. If there's a window there without a safety in that hole, okay, so this guy drops to the middle of the field, and I've got a window there without a safety help to the inside, I'm going to think post first. I'm going to come out and think post. If I got it, I'm going to take it. If the corner squeezes to the post, then I'm going to work outside to the wheel. That's what we're going to do. We're going to run up. I want that post to try to engage the corner. Okay, so go and attack the corner. He wants to stay outside. I'll take the skinny. If I get him to turn and chase us inside, perfect. I've opened up the wheel. Okay, so just want you to watch again. So Kirk comes back, and he's planted as if he's ready to throw the post route. I'm going to ask why. Why? Right off the bat, that safety is sitting right there on the post. So I have no problem with him looking over here to see if he can get the post to grab these two guys, but the whole time thinking wheel, because there's no chance to throw the post here because I've got a safety sitting right there. But he's looking over to this side, and he plants his feet right there where he gets heavy on the back foot loaded as if he's going to try to throw the post. So I'm not really sure that part A. Okay, but if you're over here, okay, you want to plant just in case it pops open, no problem. Now you get the squeeze, work to number 2. You're already to the left side, work to number 2. There it is. There it is coming wide open. You're already over here. Let that ball go. Another throw that I've seen Kirk Cousins make 1,000,000 times. Why aren't we throwing it? What's the problem? What happens here that prevents us from taking this shot? Okay, no problem if you want to go to the other side and you say to yourself, I don't like it. This guy's sitting here to take the post. This guy's here to take the wheel. No problem. Read to the front side, hook, swing. No problem reading over to that side. So we read over there, boom, you can take the hook right now. Take the hook right now. If you feel that corner on him, there's nobody left to take the swing. You can work to your swing if you want to go to that side. Finally gets to the swing. They get a nice play off of it. But again, I just asked myself the question, what are we doing? What are we thinking going backside? Why didn't we stay there and try to make the secondary throw there on that play? All right. So here's what we got here. Basically, an all-go type concept. So we're going to go here. We're going to go with kind of the seam post here. We're going to go with the go here. And we're going to go with the go on the backside. Okay? So on this particular play, we get one-on-one on the backside with Drake London. So you have 2 options that you can take as a quarterback. The first option can be, knowing I've got one-on-one, I've got the look that I want backside, I can come back, just verify that this safety stays in the middle of the field, and then I'm going to turn and throw this one. Okay? So I know that I'm committed to throwing that one if I'm not going to look over there first and see what happens. If I just look at the safety, I'm committed to throwing over there. So that's what Kirk does. Holds the safety, and he comes back to throw it to the other side. As he comes back to throw it, he must not like the situation, because if we go back to the beginning and look at this, the corner bails. The corner just turns and runs out of there. He just bails on this play. So we're going to try to throw a go route. We thought we had press. He bailed. What are we going to do? But Kirk is already committed. Because he didn't look over there to see what that corner was doing at the snap, he's committed to going over there. We got to throw it. He goes high, you got to throw the back shoulder, right? He stays tight, we throw the go up over the top. But what happens here is Kirk goes over to that side, and then he tries to come back late to the other side. Already gave us problems. We threw an interception on this, coming back to one side late without verifying things. Now, the other way to do this, and the way I like to do this, is on the snap, catch, and peek this over here. So as soon as the ball gets in my hand, I want to peek that corner. That corner stays in press, great. Now I bring my eyes back to the free safety, and I get the ball up because I know where I'm throwing it. I peek over there, and I get a bail. Now I can decide, do I want to throw a back shoulder, or do I want to just say, forget it over there, and now I'm going to come back and read the free safety on the double seam portion of it. But I verify what's going on over there so I know which kind of throw I need to make. Instead of doing this and locking in and then going, oops, not what I expected. Now I'm stuck. And again, now I have to create. Now he does a great job creating, because you see we had two guys coming open right off the bat if he would have read to this side. So he's able to find one of these guys in creating. But just a great lesson to learn over there is, hey, if you commit to that side, you got to throw it, right? Throw the back shoulder, be ready for either throw, but make the throw, because instead you're holding the football and you can't verify the front side. Or just peek release. Peek the release, see what happens, then you can make your decision on, do I want to stay over there, do I want to make the throw, or do I want to get backside, front side, get backside right now so I can read the free safety, have a quality read, and get the ball out on time, right? Making the layups, seeing it, and getting it out. He comes over here right now, gets the free safety in the middle of the field. There's a shot right there at that post or seam. Or if he feels this guy squeeze, there's a shot right here down the sideline at that go if I want it. Nice job creating, finding him, touchdown. All right, so here we go. Same play again. Vertical, in, hook. Same issues that I have with the hook and the in. To me, too tight. Would like them to be wider. Okay? Too tight on the hook. All right? I'd like him to push out here and get in between these guys and try to pull this guy with width to open up that window right there. Okay? The other thing about this is I'd like this guy to seam inside. I like this guy to seam inside and then run his route. Why do you like him to seam inside? Because when you seam inside, it has the ability to freeze this guy, right? We talked about wanting him to cover width and depth. If I just go straight out here, this guy's going to work to his responsibility to where I'm at, and he's going to be able to cover all of this at one time. If I seam inside at him, he's going to try to wall me possibly. He's going to try to hold me off in here by the hashes. And what's he do? He opens up the shot by the numbers even more. He opens up that window even more, or it forces that guy, after I get past him, to now have to play width and depth instead of allowing to go right to his responsibility. So here's another one. Now I know there's quick pressure right here, but if you're reading the front side, you would think that he's ready to just dump this ball right now to the hook because he's coming back reading that hook defender right there, get it to that hook, if at all possible. But you see, he's looking right, and then he's coming back to the left already. Maybe that's just because of the pressure, but you see the throw right in front of him. But another issue, right? Being able to protect up front. I will never understand this idea of having a tight end here and chipping a defensive end wide. Right? Because the hardest thing for a tackle, even with guys right now without getting help, is when a guy can go around the edge and have speed and distance from the tackle, and he's got to try to get back here and turn his hips and block that guy. It's nearly impossible. So to me, you chip from the outside so you can chip him down into the tackle, and you cut down space there instead of create space. So We chip this guy outside. What's he do? He chips him. So now look at the tackle. The tackle is turning and running to try to block TJ Watt. Not going to happen. We helped him. We pushed him wider so he could turn the corner, and we made everything harder on our tackle, and it led to a sack. Issues all over the place with this Falcons team. I know we put a lot of it on Kirk Cousins. Some's on Kirk Cousins, but man, there's a lot of issues going on here across the board. All right. Another play here. Deep curl, curl, deep curl, check swing, check swing. All right, now we're a little bit wider for the check there to check TJ Watt, to chip him right there. I like it. Okay, but here's what we look at. We look at corners off. Okay, so now on the snap, we get corners off. As soon as I get corners off, I want to read outside. I want to read curl, flat off of the outside defender, the flat defender. I want to get outside right now. Okay, so I want to get there. Now, I don't know why Kirk goes inside right now. Okay, so that is for a Tampa 2 defense. Now, maybe he saw this guy screaming down the middle of the field and said it's Tampa 2, but you got to see the whole picture. Bigger picture is both corners are off. So when both corners are off, it's not cover 2 anymore, right? Curl flats are still good because we're asking one guy to have to cover both of them. Okay, if I go up top on this, I'm dumping it to Bijan Robinson right here with all kinds of space. If I go to the bottom, this guy gets out to the numbers. I'm throwing the curl right here. What I don't want is to go inside because there's two guys there, okay? And the other thing is I like going to the strong side, okay? So one thing you can realize is on the backside. Strong side, I mean the one with 3 receivers to it. So 3 receivers to this side. Instead of working backside, because they have one guy that can push and cover the flat. They've got another guy that can push and cover the curl there. And they have the ability to cover us on the backside. On the front side, they don't. Because I've got a hook here, which can work to grab that guy. And then I've got a curl here and a flat here where this guy can't cover both of them. So when all things are equal in terms of the structure, okay, and what do I mean by structure? This really just becomes a cover 3. So I have one corner on both sides, and I've got 2 underneath defenders on both sides. So it's even on both sides. We want to go to the 3 receiver side because that's where we get the overload of the zone. Instead, he's trying to force this one to the inside, almost throws another pick. A good throw here. It's probably picked off again. Instead, this goes to the ground. All right, so here we are again. Vertical, in, hook. All the same elements. All right, this time, I want you to keep your eyes on Minkah. Okay? Watch him. So look what happens. We are not forcing him to cover width, are we? Only forcing him to cover depth. So what does he do? He stands right in the window for the in. He holds off the in route. But he also knows with this guy going vertical inside of him that he can still play that as well. Okay? So he knows if they throw it underneath, he's got leverage and can drive on this and make a play while he holds off the window that he's in. Right here. See it? Holds off the deep one and then drives the one underneath because we never made him cover width. He only had to cover depth so he could play this. If we use our tight end and we get our tight end out here, now he's not in the same position. He can't just come straight down and blow us up. He's got to decide, do I want to cover width? Do I want to work out to that hook and attack it? And then that opens up the window here. If I don't, and I want to stay inside and hold off the in, then we're in a position as a quarterback to throw this in between those numbers. And instead of this guy coming straight down, now he's got to come to us and try to make the tackle in space instead of just attacking us north and south, right? Forcing him to cover width and depth. Then the other element, right? Go inside. What does going inside do? The first thing that it does is it puts this guy in a bind because this guy's responsibility is to cover the flat. So when a guy goes inside of me, I usually just let him go because I know I've got help inside and my responsibility is outside. So it gives us a free release. Watch when he goes outside. What happens? Jam him, hit him. Why can I hit him? Because he's taken me right to my responsibility. So he's not threatening me away from responsibility. Then I can jam him and I can slow him down so he clouds all of this up. Seam inside. Understand the responsibilities of these different guys. Seam, push vertical. When I seam and push vertical, what else does that do? It influences this guy. I'm running right at him. What does he do there? Does he come to attack me? Does he try to, try to jam me? What does he do here with the guy coming at him? So now we've got this going on. We got one guy going outside of him to his responsibility. We got one guy going inside of him, attacking him vertically. And then we've got an in coming over the top of him. And so now we're making him think. All of these things are happening and we're making him think. When we do this and we all go into a position where he doesn't have to do anything, doesn't have to move anywhere to cover all three of them, right? He holds off the vertical. He holds off the in. And he tackles the hook, everything. He plays all three of them because we never forced him. Boom, 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 boom. He got both of those guys. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Oh, am I going to jump here? Am I going to jam this guy? Am I going to hold my position? We're getting him thinking because we got different guys going at him. And now we got a shot to get him to do something and open up something big behind him. That's the other thing we always have to think about, right? Is what is the primary? Who are we trying to throw it to? So all the complementary routes need to be designed to open up the big end. So if I'm opening up the big end, I'm going to seam inside to try to hold that linebacker, to try to influence that linebacker to open up the window. I'm going to widen the hook to try to open up that window as well. So all of my complementary routes are designed to open up the big end and to put them in position, if somebody takes away the big end, to be open by their own right. Okay, we're going to come back to this play, our last play. We're going to run the post and the wheel again. I'm sure they said, hey, did you see that wheel? The wheel came wide open earlier in the game. Let's run this again. Details. Details of everything become important to be successful as an offense, but also to help your quarterback, okay? So watch the route at the top. We've got our post and we've got our wheel, okay? And then this leads to an interception. All right, what happened here? Okay, we're going to throw this all on Kirk Cousins. Not a great throw based on the way that this played out, but I want to show you how I would change it. Remember what I said earlier on the post. The goal of this post always has to be to grab the corner. Okay, doesn't matter what the coverage is, that if we're going to run a wheel down the sideline, I have got to grab this corner. If I don't grab this corner and I let him stay out there and cover the wheel, and then I let the free safety cover me or somebody else cover me, this play's dead. So the goal has to be get depth, attack the inside number of that corner, and then take your post angle. Be ready for the football on your post angle because you could easily get it right there. But if you don't get it, you got to grab that guy the best you can so we can open up the sideline and isolate him off of an outside linebacker. Watch the post again. The post pushes up about 7 yards and then rolls inside, right? What's he doing? Nothing. He's not influencing the corner. He's not getting to the window where we have a chance to throw it to him. He's running right to an inside linebacker and what? Releasing the corner. Never influences the corner. Attack him. Go. Get through his inside number. Get him to turn inside and carry me a little bit so even if I get a first window throw, I can drive this throw. We release him to not do anything. He knows he's not threatened to the inside. I mean, look at that. Even this far away, look at the corner take 2 steps inside. Boom, boom. Oh, but he didn't influence. Imagine if we ran up through him, what he's going to do. He's going to be ready to drive this. Quarterback come back. He's going to look at the post. As he looks at him, it's going to force the corner to drive even more because his eyes are in the backfield. And then we've got a shot to open up the wheel. Instead, we run a bad post route or whatever that is. And again, I'm not saying that guy's wrong. He might be taught that. But that's the problem with this play. This guy running at 7 yards and wrapping to the inside, chances of him grabbing a corner and getting that corner to chase him in any kind of a zone coverage is slim to none. So we leave him there. Now we've got the wheel. Now the pressure starts to come. There's no other options over there, which is the other thing, right? Always like to run this post and this wheel and then put something else underneath. So if we don't have the post and this guy covers the wheel, then we've got something to recover to, and my eyes are already over there, so I don't have to come all the way backside and read it backside. So I don't really like wheel as just a 2-man concept. I like it as a 3-man concept. But regardless, bad routes, bad ideas, bad understanding of what we're trying to do will lead to bad decisions, forced decisions, and interceptions that can finish the game for your team. So many different things going on here with Atlanta throughout this game. Some on the quarterback, some on the scheme, some on the other players. But led to a big loss. All right, so there's a look at the Atlanta Falcons and all the things that went wrong. I know we want to put it all on Kirk Cousins. I hear people talking already about benching Kirk Cousins after one game. He didn't play well. He made some bad decisions. He made some bad plays worse in this game, missed some things that he normally hits. Okay, so got to clean that up, and he's got to be better, no question. But you see that it's not just on Kirk Cousins, that there's other things going on within this offense that have to be cleaned up. They have to get on the same page. They've got to clean up some of the details. In my opinion, again, based on the way that I would do it, clean up some of those details so they can help their quarterback to be better, right? To help him to be more comfortable and have some more easy layup plays that will get him going in this offense and hopefully get Kirk Cousins back to what we've seen in the past.